Hello, my name is Brisa Samayoa, and my rhetorical analysis presentation is based on the Santa Monica College annual report for the school year of 2019 through 2020. An annual report is a detailed report that shows a company's operations and financial performance for the year. These reports can be on anything ranging from security to sustainability. It all really depends on what the company is looking to write about. Most of the time, these reports will include business profiles, management strategies, financial statements, and future goals. Annual reports are required to be published by things like publicly traded companies, while many nonprofit organizations and government agencies publish them as well. The analysis we will be doing on annual reports today revolves around rhetorical strategies, which are used by writers in order to influence audiences. These devices help a writer organize evidence, connect facts, and provide any information necessary regarding the topic. These include classifying, credibility, diction, page layout, persuasion, research, text, and visuals. Within the first analysis, I focused on classification, which are basically methods used to divide ideas into separate topics in order to explain concepts individually and in detail. In the annual report published by SMC, a great example they used of classification was a table of contents. Here, classification methods are used in order to separate ideas and dive into them a little bit later. This strategy is also very useful in providing audiences with previews about what the annual report may be about. Credibility as a rhetorical strategy is very helpful in providing reliable context for audiences, and even bringing attention to any experience authors may have regarding the topic. A good example I found of this in the annual report was the use of statistics alongside their claims. Shortly after their introduction, the report discusses their record as a leading transfer institution, providing statistics like the total number of students that transferred in the previous years. Credibility as a rhetorical strategy ensures a sense of trust amongst audiences, making it highly effective. On the other hand, diction as a rhetorical strategy helps leave audiences with lasting impressions. With the help of vivid description and imagery, mental pictures can be created, which helps get across any points that are trying to be made. In the athletics section of the report, the department is discussed in detail, allowing audiences to imagine what it would be like using descriptive sensory stimulations. Page layout as a rhetorical strategy helps maintain easy legible work that doesn't overwhelm audiences with unnecessary information. This can range anywhere from font to color scheme or bullet points set up on a page in order to present information to audiences. In the annual report published by SMC, font and color schemes were two very important tools that contributed to the page layout strategy. Things that demonstrated the different subtopics being discussed can often be seen either bolded or italicized in a different color. The color they used in the report was red. Any other supporting information was seen in regular black font, while links to other websites were highlighted in blue. This strategy is very effective as it helps guide audiences' focus towards whatever the report might be about. Persuasion as a rhetorical strategy serves to convince audiences of something with either logic or reasoning in order to initiate a response. This strategy is most commonly associated with logos, ethos, and pathos. A good example used in the report was their use of promotion, kind of talking themselves up in any sort of club or extracurricular activity they offered in order to form a greater appeal to audiences. This is another highly effective strategy as it uses supporting claims to further back up their points. Research as a rhetorical strategy helps uphold any ideas that are trying to be conveyed to audiences. The use of research from recent years was seen pretty often in SMC's annual report. The sources were cited pretty often in order to back up whatever claims they were making as a school. For example, results of a survey by students assessing campus racial climate was backed up by the NACC, or the National Assessment of Collegiate Campus Climates, as well as the USC Center for Race and Equity. Strategy is effective because this type of added support allows audiences to feel more secure in the information that they are receiving. Text as a rhetorical strategy works to detail reports ranging in length, providing connotations based on the topic. Topics that require longer lengths in paragraphs are left for the middle, while things like the beginning or end of a topic are usually much shorter and more summarized. Things like font and difficulty to read are all things that affect the strategy. A great example of this seen in the annual report is the conclusion, which is a short summary at the very end of the annual report, summarizing what the whole report was basically about. Although this conclusion didn't have any political, social, or emotional meaning behind it, it still served to summarize the entire report in an academically professional way. Although the entire report was more than 100 pages, the conclusion of the entire report was less than a fraction of a page, proving to be very short and brief, more likely to get to the point instead of over-explaining everything like it already has. Strategy is also very effective in providing audiences with the sufficient amount of evidence regarding the topic being discussed. If it is towards the end, it makes sense for it to be much shorter and summarized, compared to something in the middle of the report that might still have to be explained. Visuals as a rhetorical strategy communicate using imagery in order to invoke certain emotions from the audience. Pictures instill a lot of emotion in any sort of research text or any text in general because they provide an overall tone. It's usually the first thing that any audience member will look at in order to perceive the entire tone of the rest of the page. Sometimes images provide added context into what the report may be about. The only example of this we see in the SMC annual report is the front cover. The front cover contains 5 separate pictures pieced together in a collage-like style, matching the colors of the school. These pictures include the school itself at what seems to be sunset, an educator, a ceremony, and a picture of someone at a graduation. These pictures instill a tone of success and inspiration as they regard all the information that has to do with the school. The color scheme also serves to provide a more appealing look in the overall front cover. Small details like the background in some of these pictures or even the sky that can be seen in the background is matched up to match the color of the school, which is a dark blue. Strategies are very effective in setting the overall tone of the report and help prepare audiences for whatever research they might be looking into. This strategy is very effective in setting overall tones in regards to the information that is presented in the annual report. Almost all authors use a large variety of rhetorical strategies to present their messages to audiences. These strategies vary greatly in effectiveness as they are applied. In the annual report released by SMC for the year 2019 through 2020, rhetorical strategies used were pretty effective in engaging an audience in order to help them understand the information being given.